Welcome, everybody, to the Redzone Report, brought to you by Monster Energy on the Built-in Buffalo YouTube, X, and Facebook channels. Go Bills. And again, welcome everybody to the Redzone Report. I'm here and with a co-host today, Anthony Romeo from the Hoof podcast on the Built-in Buffalo YouTube, Facebook, and X channels. Also, we see them on Thursday nights. Welcome to the show, Anthony.
Hey, it's good to be here with you, Izzy. Man, what a game, huh? We had some excitement in that one. My emotions all over the place. Tale of two halves, for sure, to say the least.
Is it safe to say that the Buffalo Bills are a second-half team again? Remember back in the day, we used to be a second-half team. We'd start off slow, and then back in the Kelly days, and then that's how it was.
I hate it. That's all I can say. I hate it.
We didn't give you a heart murmur. Luckily, you're a doctor, but you're not that kind of doctor.
Yeah, right. Still need somebody to operate on me for that.
Yeah, buddy. That'd be weird if you did it to yourself.
Get the paddles ready. I could probably do that one myself.
Yeah. Do that just for fun on Sundays.
Right, yeah, standby. I should make sure my wife is trained so that when I go into cardiac arrest, she can help me out.
Yeah. You recharge you like Iron Man?
Yeah, there you go, yeah.
Oh, man, that was an excellent game, though. Like, the second half was well worth seeing it. And then, beautiful. You know, the first half, well, 4 punts, just 4 3-and-outs. It was just horrid.
I mean, my problem with that whole entire first half is there was no energy. Nobody did anything good. Nobody. No offensive player, no defensive player, no special teamer. Nobody did anything. And to me, that is completely unacceptable. Like, what your coaches suck. Your team sucks. Like, nobody deserved to be there. It was like they took the half off. Like, oh, we forgot we have a game today. Haha, it's Sunday. Oops.
We're playing against the 1-4 Tech Titans.
Yeah, right. And I think that's part of it. And again, for me, that comes down to the head coach. And I said during that first half, I said, everybody gets on Sean McDermott. Oh, fire McDermott when the Bills lose. But like, we lost to Baltimore. I mean, yeah, there was botches by McDermott there, and you can blame it on him. And it always comes down to the head coach. But a game like this, that first half, that is why you fire McDermott, right? So all you fire McDermott people, I'm not on that train yet, by the way, but the people who make the case, that is why, because you come completely unprepared. You get completely embarrassed. You're in the NFL. That can't happen. You cannot show up to your own home field completely unprepared, like you don't know there's a football game going on. And for the entire first half, that's how it was. And if the Titans didn't suck this bad, here is why I say this for real. You get away with it with the Titans. Great. We gave them a whole first half, and they still couldn't do shit because they're a terrible football team and they suck, right? They're just that bad all around. I mean, they gave us the ball. They couldn't score points. We were trying everything we could to let them win the game in that first half, and they couldn't do it. So you get away with it against bad teams. But any good team you play, you're going to get your ass kicked like that, coming out like that. You're going to be down 30 points at halftime coming out like that. And so that's why, I mean, it's completely unacceptable. And to me, even though this ended up being a big win, Sean McDermott needs to answer those questions. Those reporters at that press conference better be like, what the hell was wrong with you in the first half? That's your fault, Sean McDermott. What the hell? Like, and instead, we know what's going to happen. Well, we learned and grew from it, and it's halftime, and we learned and grew. and now we're good and let's move on. And no, because when it happens in the future against good teams, you're going to get blown out. And that's not good. And really, if you look at who the Bills have beaten this year, we still have not beaten a good quote unquote team. So,
No,
I mean, you still have a lot to prove in my mind, but this was momentum in the second half, certainly made up for it. Second half play certainly made up for it. The offense came to life. The defense came to life. Then guys were making plays, but that entire first half, nobody deserves any credit for anything.
Yeah, the first half was basically, like it's
painful.
It was,
right?
it was hard to watch. Yeah, and I was like, oh, is this gonna be one of these, a 17-10? I was like, I predicted the game to be 31-13. I was close. My final score. But at the end of the first half, I was like, like, are we gonna edge this one out, or are they gonna edge this one out? Like, what is this nonsense? Like with the Titans, really? It looks bad. And then all of a sudden in the second half, we did exactly what we should have in the whole game. We should have won this game 70-10. Like we should have smoked. We should have been up 27 after the first half. Because you saw in the second half what they did. Keon Coleman came on in this game, and they didn't really throw him the ball like that in the first half.
Yeah. You're right.
Hey, he didn't get the ball thrown to him in the first half. It was Cooper and
game plan change at halftime, right? Because that wasn't what you were doing in the first half.
Yeah, here's another thing. Like, some will say that because of Cooper, Keon really blew up in this game.
No,
and that's partially true. But there were plays out there that he made where Cooper was not on the field, and Keon just came on.
Yeah,
like, you went and got a number one wide receiver, and I think Keon might have taken that a little personal.
I don't know about that. I think he's a rookie and he's growing. You know, somebody said in one of my group chats, you know, I don't remember if it was the Built in Buffalo one, oh, this is Keon's best game. And my response was, yes, he should have his best game every week, right? Like you're a rookie. You're supposed to be getting better. But this was certainly, he looked the most comfortable and the most NFL, I'd say, in this game, right? In other games, we've seen him, you know, oh, he's got the talent, but he's not quite there yet. This game, he looked like he was. And that catch in the end zone, he got screwed on. I thought that was a touchdown. I mean, come on. He had it. He went down. It's like, dude, that was a call on the field. There's nothing definitive there, to me at least.
I thought otherwise. Fans confirmed.
Yeah, right.
Fans, yeah,
exactly. It should have been a touchdown. So I mean, yeah, but yeah. Anyway, that was still a great catch by him in, like you said, in coverage, right? Mm-hmm. Cooper being there, sure, maybe Cooper gets more attention now, but it does not mean that Coleman wasn't catching these in coverage, right? Cooper being there has nothing to do with the coverage on Coleman, and he made some great catches in sticky coverage, and that's exactly what his role is supposed to be. And I would say Cooper did the opposite. Cooper got open, made catches, and looked like, you know, what a veteran good wide receiver can look like with Josh Allen.
Yeah. We got some comments over here. You know, my brother's in there. Love you, bro. Kim Boomhauer, Grant Hanlon, Robbie from 716 Sports Blitz. Who else is out here in these comments? We got Keith Daniels Rust and Jacob Spears from the Spears Network. You guys are all usually on my stream. Thanks for being here again with us. Go Bills. It won't be a big comment video, guys, so you can drop them and we will read them, but we probably won't be able to read them on a show like that, because when me and Anthony get together, we break
it down, baby.
We have too much chemistry.
That's right.
So it's awesome. But
always fun to be with you.
We will get to some of your comments. Like when you guys drop some gold nuggets, we will pick them up today. But today is not the typical Red Zone report where we read every one of them, because on my shows I will read every one of them by myself, because you guys make me not by myself.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, Keon Coleman went the hell off. You know, he was throwing the ball 7 times. A little shaky at first, but then those 4 catches and then that 57-yarder.
Beautiful.
Man, Keon, you need to start practicing for the 40 again so we can get you into the end zone and then pass him. He has nobody in front of you, and you're getting caught, man. We need that 20-mile-per-hour gauntlet speed again, man. We need that.
That was pretty funny. I saw the guys coming. I'm like, come on, Keon, turn on the gas, buddy. But, you know, I mean, some guys, and you got to give the defense credit. They chased him down. They got him. So, but, I mean, it was still a huge play. Great play for him. And he's not that receiver. He's not the speed guy who's supposed to outrun everybody. But to your point, he is supposed to be fast enough. He probably could have scored on that in his
If a
heyday.
tight end can do it, you can do it, Keon.
Right.
Come on.
Exactly. He did make a
But
few cuts that gave him a little extra yard at least, but
yeah,
not enough.
and that tackle break was nice too.
Yeah.
But yeah, Cooper came in. He had that drop in the first
attempt, and that's the worst, right? The pressure's on. I got to show that I'm good enough to be here, and he's a veteran, so it's not like too much. But the very first pass that comes your way, you botch it, and it's just like, man, that's got to be a confidence killer. But he came right back, obviously, and had a great game. His next catch was a touchdown. Or his first catch, I should say. His next target was a touchdown. So yeah, that was. And then he was 1 for 1 for touchdowns. And on his next catch, it was a very good catch. And I said to myself, now he's only 50% touchdowns. Disappointing. But obviously, yes. Wow, I did not expect that much from Cooper, right away in this game. I said he'll get some plays. He might even get a touchdown, but he looked more like a difference maker in this game already, right?
Yeah.
Like when you have a guy like that's having that kind of impact after 3 days on the team, that gives me, I wrote in my notes, like, this gives me the most hope I've seen this season. With that first couple of catches that he had, I'm like, damn, this guy's good. And this is actually going to help this team take the next step that we've been looking for. And, getting separation, right? Again, that miserable first half, I think one of the things that you could just see with your eyes was Josh Allen was struggling because nobody could get open. Like, it was just no separation. And then all of a sudden, the second half, tale of two halves, completely different story. Guys were getting open. Josh could find him, and Cooper had a big impact on that. And he was a big factor in that. That's where the most hope I got was that one catch by Cooper. Like, damn, this is going to be it right here. Like, he's going to have a guy who can do these things that we haven't had on this team so far.
Yeah, I really liked what I saw from Cooper. He went out there, he shined, did exactly what is expected of him. And the other thing with Cooper is he was 4th in targets. Keon Coleman and Shakir both had 7. Kincaid had 6. Cooper had 5. He was 3rd, tied for 3rd in receptions with 4. Shakir had 7. And then, no, he was tied for 2nd. 4 and 4 for Keon and Cooper. 66 yards and a touchdown. Yards per reception, 16.5. Had that touchdown. His longest was 27, so that's the second longest reception today for a Bills wide receiver. He went out there and he made a difference. He did make a difference. He was not on the field every play, and he didn't need to be because we definitely ran the ball pretty effectively with Ray Davis. I think he's starting to earn more touches now. He needs to get the ball a little bit more.
Certainly, yes. I was waiting for him to get the ball in this game, and again, what I wrote in my notes for Ray Davis was the same thing I said last week. When he comes on the field, the physicality level of the entire team goes up 3 notches because this guy he gets the ball in his hands and he's running into guys, and the whole energy is brought up a level. Now, that's not taking away from James Cook. That's just not his game, right? It's just that Ray Davis, he's that guy that you need to go to in situations like that, late game or, need a yard or whatever, because he's just bowling through guys and he's making plays. He's catching balls. He's doing everything out there. And you got to ride that momentum, especially in times like that. I know he's a rookie and he's not, taking stuff away from Cook, but yeah, good.
I would actually take a little bit away from Cook to give to Ray Davis. I'd actually put Ray Davis in kind of early to really wear out the defense. And then you give him a dose of that Cook. Right.
Agreed. Yeah, because the physicality level. Yeah.
Because early on we're putting 70 out there as a freaking eligible receiver. Why wouldn't you put the hammer out there to help beat up that defensive line? And then a little later, you drop Cook out there. They're too tired to catch Cook, and he can potentially break some harder runs off later on in the game. I don't know if I'd start James Cook or Ray Davis. Maybe you go out there 3 receivers and then you run James Cook. But if your plan is to go out there because the team's got a weak run defense or they have a really good run defense and you want to pound them and establish the run, start Ray Davis. Get him out there and get him going. And then you go out there with Cook and shake and bake them. Because that's what they are, really. They're really a contrast of running backs. And then Ty Johnson's kind of a combo of the two. I really like what I'm seeing at Ty Johnson as well, but I think he's getting the touches that he should be getting because he makes a play almost every time he's on the field.
Mm-hmm. He made the big catch, third down catch in one of them today.
Mm-hmm. And through the air, he's making plays. And if he bounces it out, he's actually pretty good at that too. He's faster than people think. I think that the Bills could really streamline their running back situation if they just use Ray Davis earlier and then brought Cook in on those multiple receiver sets. I think that's a strategy that they could and probably should implement later. Hey, Joe Brady, if you're watching the show,
credit Izzy on that call. Yeah,
I'll take a salary.
Yeah, that's a good point though on Ray Davis. I mean, again, he's clearly brings in energy to the team that was lacking in years past. I feel, especially recent memory. Right? It's just when he's on the field. At least I did. Even today, it was like, bam, yeah, he's got the ball. Look at him go. Like the energy just explodes off of him. So that's a guy.
Good at following blocks.
Yeah, right. He's got good vision. I mean, there's a reason he's getting chunk plays because he's not only pushing guys out of the way, he's just following what's there, taking what's given, and then making the extra effort when he needs to. So, yeah, you love to see that. You absolutely love to see it.
And here's another thing, right? Cook had 12 carries for 32 yards, 1 touchdown. His longest was 11, which means that one run was 11 of his 32 yards. He had 21 other yards on 11 carries. That's like 2 yards a carry, 1.8 per carry. Look at Ray Davis. His long was 22. He had 41 on 5. That means he had 20 yards on 4 carries. He was averaging 4.9-ish per carry without that. Oh, that's cute.
Hi, buddy. He's wearing his Bills gear too. I heard him out there. I'm trying to. Yeah, thanks. No, you're okay. You're okay. Sorry. He wanted to say hi. That's all. Sorry.
I love kids, man. It's cool. I have 4, so you don't have 4 if you don't love kids.
That's right. It's okay, buddy. I'll be up in a bit, okay? Go Bills, buddy.
That's awesome, man. So he's like, I'm gonna go celebrate with Dad. Heck yeah.
I did come. Normally, we do a post game little, hangout if it's not too late. This year it's been, past his bedtime when the games are over. But normally
Sunday night. Yeah. But yeah, gotta love the kids. Gotta love the kids, man. I'm gonna be one hell of a grandpa. Give me 5 years though. Like when y'all are gone, give me 5 years before you start bringing kids back.
Oh boy, you want a little break in there, right? Yeah, exactly. something to have your own before you start it all over again with the grandparents.
You need to go travel the country, man. Need to get my 2 years of RV travel or something.
That'd be nice. I mean, we're totally off the rails now. Sorry about that.
It's all good, man. But for the Titans, man, Mason Rudolph better than Will Levis.
Oh yeah, definitely. I mean, I knew that before the game. As soon as they said he was playing, I'm like, well, he's not a superstar quarterback, so it's not like, oh my God, we're afraid. But it's like, damn, I was really hoping we'd get Will Levis because we know that he'd give us the ball a few times. So
we probably shut him out.
Might even hand it to you on the goal line like he did. But yeah, right. I think it would have been a very different game if Levis is there. It's starting with the first half. Again, momentum, what a veteran quarterback, even though he's not that great, like Mason Rudolph can do versus what Will Levis and that confidence and, everything that comes into play there on the road. I mean, I think we would have just eaten him alive. So they took the advantage of that as well.
And as well, they should, they use your players and, I don't know where they go from here. And honestly, I don't really care because I'm not a Titans fan, but they might be in business for a first round quarterback.
Yeah.
Because Will Levis ain't cutting it.
Right. And you drafted Will Levis and then you fired the coach. So the coach here did not draft Will Levis. And that matchup hasn't worked out. And even scheme-wise, Joe Marino has been preaching all offseason on his NFL show that, this offense is not built for a guy like Will Levis. So how are they going to succeed if they have a Will Levis and a Will Levis built offense, basically. It's not playing to his strengths, basically. And,
No,
that's come to fruition this year in the record, right? So, it is somewhat, there are limitations and flaws that we're seeing in Will Levis's game for sure. But I think he's a guy he'll get another chance. They always do. Quarterbacks always get another chance, it seems. And we'll see. And we're saying that now. There's obviously a lot of season left, and but again, when it's always a red flag. I don't care how good the quarterback is. It's always a red flag when a coach is hired who did not choose that quarterback, right? And it's always going to be, a question of what's happening there. And this game certainly answered a lot of those questions because we saw how much better Mason Rudolph ran the offense than Will Levis has in the first 6 weeks.
absolutely. And Will Levis is a guy who I wouldn't mind seeing the Bills bring in to develop. Maybe use as a trade piece later because he's much more similar to Josh Allen than he is to Mason Rudolph. And that offense is clearly catered more to a Rudolph type quarterback than a Will Levis or a Josh Allen. It's catered to somebody who's a timing quarterback. It's a West Coast offense. That's not what Will Levis does. Like he needs to go out there and run more of an EP type system like we run here with Josh Allen, or like we have run with Josh Allen under Brady and Dorsey. And I believe that's still very similar to what Brady runs.
Right.
But
interesting.
A little more running tweaks. So if Will Levis was to be let go, I wouldn't mind seeing him put on the practice squad for the Bills, or brought in on the roster just to see what he can do in a system that actually fits his type of player. And then maybe you can get some trade value from him later.
Sure. And I mean, you think about this preseason when the Bills were kind of desperately grasping at straws for quarterbacks. That would be certainly one that would be welcome with open arms. I mean, get him on the practice squad. Sure, why not? There's no downside to that if you're thinking, okay, we can work this guy in and build him up and then either trade him or make him an institutional backup, since the Bills have gone with these 1-year rental backups, it seems, year after year, and some people have been clamoring for the Bills to draft a quarterback and make him the backup. So I think that could be a better route, get a guy who, maybe you think hasn't been quite developed to their talent level, similar skill set. Like you said, okay, it makes sense. I've heard a lot of people call him the poor man's Josh Allen. I haven't seen any of that with my own eyes, but certainly, again, yeah, scheme and talent wise, I
think
see
the physical skill set is that, like big, strong arm, big, strong guy. He can run the ball. He's very raw. Like the college profile fits Josh's college profile.
Mm-hmm.
I just don't think he's gone to the right place. And so I think that if you get him somewhere, like even like the Giants, could pick him up and potentially do something with him if Dable doesn't get fired this year, because that looks like it's probably going to happen.
Yeah, I mean they got stomped by by Philly today. Yeah, and my friend who's an Eagles fan went down for that game, so he's got to be pretty excited because I mean I predicted that too with the return of Saquon to the Giants. Yeah, that was very favorable for them. But you're right, the clock is ticking on Dayball now, right? You'd imagine. Yeah. So somebody's got to get him.
So they can get out of the Daniel Jones contract this year. So if they get another high draft pick, I don't know if they want to give Dable his guy, because it felt like he vouched for Daniel Jones when they gave him that contract.
Mm-hmm.
So if you vouch for this guy, even though he was here before you, like you still chose to run with him, and we could have got you a quarterback. We could have traded up in this draft right now to go get a quarterback. But also, that team's not built for a quarterback yet. So that's Joe Shane's job there.
Yeah. So I mean, Bill's connections, but yeah, they've got decisions to make there, and in the problem is being in the New York Giants, the New Jersey Giants, whatever you want to call them. They, there's pressure, there's extra pressure there, and they tend to side on cutting, not waiting for you to be better. So especially the coaches, right? You did not do what you said you could do. Bye. We're on to the next, right? So I think that his time is done there, if you ask me.
Yeah. I would agree. And, I don't know how old your son is there.
3 and a half.
Like 3 years old. So he's not coloring inside the lines yet, probably. If he is, dynamo.
Yeah, right, yeah.
if once your son's able to color inside the lines, he'll know that they're the New Jersey Giants.
Yeah, exactly. Right. Yeah. Today he actually asked, he said to me, I said, there's a Bills game today. he said, "Are we going to the Bills today?" And I said, "No, we're not going, but I'd be glad to take you to see the Bills." So it was the first time he asked to like go to a game, which was really cool. But he sings the shout song. He wants the shout song every day when I take him to school. He wants to play the shout song in the car. So win, lose, or draw, I'm listening to the shout song every day in the car, which is
He's got
fun.
the bug.
But yeah, right,
After a
exactly.
loss here and they're just pissed. Listen to the shout song.
Exactly. He always gets my mood up, though. You can't go wrong with that
And then
little
goes to the
kid
best.
energy, right? Yeah.
Yeah, kids are awesome, man. They're awesome. But yeah, the division today had two
Beautiful.
other games go on. The Dolphins, they played against the Colts, and they put up a measly 10 points and lost to them. And then the Patriots got, mud stomped by the Jaguars somehow. I thought the Patriots were going to win. I really didn't have much of a
What?
dog in that. Yeah, I
No,
thought they were going to win.
they couldn't win. They couldn't win if they played their best football of their lives. The Jaguars have been in London for 2 weeks, just like when we went last year.
True.
They had a huge advantage. Huge. It's totally unfair. It's the dumbest thing I've ever heard. After last year, I couldn't believe the NFL did it again. And I put $100 on that game and I won because I knew that no matter what New England came out and did, there was no way they were coming out with the W. And so
Drake May had a solid day,
yeah,
26
he did. He looked good. Yeah, yeah. He looked like
so they might have something in a couple years. Poor Jets.
Now, so yeah, I mean, you started by talking about the division, but I think that's another game tonight that I'm looking forward to because I think, with the news that the Jets are getting Reddick finally, I guess, by tomorrow, that he's not playing tonight, obviously, but he'll be with the team tomorrow. I still think they lose tonight. So this is a team that's going to lose on Monday Night Football to the Bills. Then they get Davante Adams. Whoa! Now they're going to lose on Sunday Night Football to the Steelers. And, they got us on Reading. So they're the only team who can continue to suck and lose games and then somehow get better players and think, the world is going to turn around all of a sudden. No, that team is destined for doom. That's it.
Sorry, guys. Coaching matters.
Yeah.
Coaching matters. And your defensive coordinator, who would have influenced the games before this game because he's a coordinator. The offensive coordinator, you took Nathaniel Hackett's play calling away. Didn't look that much better against the Bills. I'm sorry. It just didn't look that much better. Aaron Rodgers was just playing more like himself.
Yes, he had his best game. Yes.
Yeah, but he was just accurate. More accurate than I'd seen him in.
And we know the strength of the Steelers is their pass rush, right? It always has been, always will be, it seems. That going up against the Jets, that's their weakness. And I think that Aaron Rodgers is going to struggle tonight against that Steelers defense, which is always good, even with Davante Adams. I said it when they traded for him. Davante Adams doesn't solve the problems that team had, which is a lot of offensive line, and their defense isn't doing what it should be doing, and penalties, and, the lack of leadership, and you fired your coach. There's so much chaos going on there. They got the 1-game bump and they didn't get a win from it. Thank God for us. But now I think it's just going to be more of reality for them, which is
I agree. The reality is you brought in a 40-year-old quarterback.
Yes.
His best days are behind him. He brought in his favorite weapons from Green Bay.
Mm-hmm.
He's got Garrett Wilson, who's an excellent receiver. Right? Garrett Wilson on a team with a Josh Allen or Patrick Mahomes, it's probably better than he is in New York, or excuse me, New Jersey. But it's a rough one. So it is what it is. But I'm just glad that the Bills are stable and just taking care of the business like they should. But the division, if the Jets lose tonight, clearly is basically ours.
Yeah, even better. You can't. Another full game lead. You'd have a 3.5 game lead in the division in week 7. That's
over everybody, really.
An unbelievable place to be. Yeah.
A 4.5 game or four game lead over the Pats.
Yeah. So you can't. The Bills are focused on the division. Yes, you have to win the division. We also got some help. The Packers beat the Texans today. What else went final today? I think there's a few games today that could help us out on that end. Yeah.
Started a fight before the game, and I saw it on the pregame before the Bills game started. There was a fight there. and I was like, man, listen, he's already starting. He's already starting before the game even got going, like with Zaire Alexander, and I was like, all right,
Mm-hmm.
well, you know what? Sometimes you start a fight, and sometimes you talk shit and you get hit. That's what it is.
We know how that goes, right? It's always the why did you have to do that kind of thing, right? That's how it is with Diggs. Like you could have just not done that, and we could have tried to be competitive and do it, but that
Not,
gave
but I
them
was,
an extra spark that you just don't need. You don't need those headlines and bulletin board material, and especially right before a game. Now you really amp them up just before the game, which we definitely you never want to see as an opposing coach or a team, right? You're like, geez, now they're going to have it out for us. And I did see a couple highlight plays where that team was whacking Stephon Diggs when he got the ball. So so the Packers really put it on him. Even though it was a close game, it was a fun game. The highlights that I saw anyway of it, watching on Redzone and stuff, it was good.
I mean, I get back to talk shit, get hit. It is what it is. But if you looking back at the Bills game, the defense and throughout the game basically shut down defense. Right? They were able to move the ball a bit.
Mm-hmm.
They ran for 83 yards. They threw for 200, so 283 yards of offense from them. Not bad for our defense. They did gash us a few times. They had 3.5 yards per carry though in a game, which is surprising to me because I saw some pretty crazy runs, but they did stuff them quite a bit. Uh,
Yeah, it was again that hot and cold, it seemed, right? Like you'd stop them behind the line for 3-yard loss, then you give up a 12-yard run. Then the missed tackles. Oh my God, that was another thing. I mean, it was like playing pinball, right? You're just bing, 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 bing. Like nobody could tackle guys. It's like bring them down at contact, not 20 yards later, like it was frustrating to see. But I think to your point, yeah, it was either tackling behind the line of scrimmage, 3-yard loss, and then 20-yard gain, or same thing in the past game, right? Like,
yeah,
oh, you couldn't stop them from those dink donk plays that were getting them chunk yardage, and
tight end
um,
screens, yeah.
it was really the down the field stuff that it was just completely off, right? And we know again, Mason Rudolph kind of limited in that, and our guys limiting separation from their receivers. So it was really just yards after getting the ball, contact or getting the ball. So yeah, those guys uh, really gouged us for yardage in times. And I know I said this in the chat, people always push back on me, but I hate the prevent defense. Don't
Oh,
ever do that. Don't ever. It's stupid. I don't care if you're up by 100. You don't do that. It just kills everything. Play football. You're playing good defense. There's no reason to say, oh, that defense that we were doing good, we should
we're gonna
totally
get out of that.
reverse that, and now we're going to change your entire mindset to say let the guy catch the ball, let him get yards, and tackle him here. It's like, no, just play defense. If they're able to score against you, it still doesn't matter, does it? So
Yeah, if you're
why
not
let
going to play
them
cover
score
four,
against you? Exactly. It
yeah, just play
doesn't
cover
make any
four.
logical sense. Like just play and keep doing what was working, not change it completely. So
So unfortunately today, Terrell Bernard went down with an ankle.
yeah,
Hoping that
scary.
he's okay. Maybe he misses a game or two. I'm fine with Balen Spector as a spell linebacker. Uh, I don't see him as a starting linebacker, but he can start a few games a year. If you have a starter go down, that's fine with me. Also, with the teams that we're playing, in this stretch of the season, fine with him. Let Bernard rest up. Let him get that ankle right. I know earlier in the season it was a different injury with the pec, but now it's an ankle. Let him rest up. Put Balen Spector out there. Activate Andreessen and Moreau or Ulafosio. Let those guys get some time in there. But Dorian Williams had himself another nice little day tackling. He's looking better in coverage. 10 tackles. He leads the team in tackles. That man is a tackling machine. He had a tackle for loss today as well. I'm really impressed with what I'm seeing from him. Terrell Bernard before the injury, though, 2 tackles for loss, 8 tackles, 6 of them solo. Like, he's everywhere.
Yeah, he even went out for a couple plays. They were evaluating him or whatever. He came back in, made another big play, and then the next series he was out. So
And they stepped on his
hopefully,
foot, right? Something like that.
yeah. Hopefully he's okay. And we'll see. Obviously, we won't know till practice this week, probably not till Friday, really, of the reality of the situation. Because if he's, limited, like a lot of players were this past week, limited, and then whatever, and then, ended up playing today, which was good. Today, starting the day at least, fairly healthy, right? A lot of guys were back, so it felt good to have those guys on the field for sure. And now we hope that this isn't another setback for Bernard.
So Curtis Samuel was inactive today. What do you think that was about?
Curtis Samuel was not inactive. He was out after the first couple plays of the game. So two
Oh, he got
plays he
hurt.
was in.
Okay.
They were evaluating him on the side. He went in the tent. He came out of the tent. They said he was questionable to return, and then they made it out. So yeah, it was one play. And again, I was so frustrated because it was a stupid freaking like wheel route thing. Oh, he's here. Oh, nope, run him around and then get him the ball 2 yards away from the line of scrimmage. Just let him run a freaking route and throw him the ball. Like he's a receiver, not a gadget toy. They're making him Isaiah McKenzie when he's so much more than that. And it was I don't exactly know what happened for the injury. I was kind of surprised to see that it was an injury. That was the tip pass to start that first drive. It was Josh Allen tried to throw it there and
I wasn't quite seated yet. That's why I missed that. But I saw him on the sideline in street clothes, and I was like, why is he inactive? Like, what's going on with Curtis Samuel?
Yeah.
Damn,
so he was out after 3 plays or something. So not good.
So that sucks, but nice to see the receivers pick it up after that.
Yes,
the other guys.
Glad
to see Shakir at full strength. But back to the defense. The play of Dwan Smoot at defensive end, starting basically.
Yes.
Across from Groot. And then Epinesa coming in, basically backing him up, I think is really having a positive effect on Epinesa. Because he's put up stats now 2 weeks in a row.
It does seem like
third one today.
Yeah, and he's putting himself in good position. He had both the ball that I thought he should have caught because it was like in his hand. Yeah, that was the side, the kind of lateral throw or whatever. That was there. Yeah, nobody was getting in front of him for that. So that was, it was a play though. You're like, okay, it sucks he didn't catch it, but that was a big play. Good job on him. And then he made another play. So I mean, you're right that it seems to be he's best utilized in that role of like, let me get in there and make a play when it's my turn, not put him in there as a starter and let him run every play, right? So it seems to be working. I'm not ecstatic about what I've seen from Smoot for the most part, but it still is working to get the best out of Epinesa. So I think moving forward, this is the right thing to do.
Until Vaughn gets back, then maybe you start Vaughn. Nah, I wouldn't do that either.
No, I don't like the idea of that at all. That doesn't.
You start Smoot, you start Groot, and then you let Vaughn and
Vaughn's even more specialized in my mind than Epinesa would be.
Yeah, because he's the pass rusher.
Yes.
Epinesa is actually getting tackles for loss as well. Like tackle for loss, QB hit, pass defense. Yeah, it's like
beautiful game from Epinesa. Yeah,
I'm loving how
second half. Nobody played well in the first half. Second half from everybody.
So glad to have Taron Johnson back. It's not.
Oh my God! Yeah, what a difference. He did have he made a big play, but he hit the helmet to helmet, and they called a penalty on him. That was rough, but yeah, because that would have been a good drive killer. But I think that was the drive they ended up scoring on, if I remember correctly. But yeah, that was. You can't. I mean, to me, that's just an NFL play. He went for the ball. Yes, his helmet did make contact, so. That is what it is, but
it looked like he was trying to get another crazy pick, didn't it?
Yeah, he was going for the ball, I thought, at least. Yeah,
it's wild. So who do you think was another player that we could highlight in this game?
Josh Allen's up and down play was a little bit concerning, but I think that's more tied to, again, what we already talked about. The first half, nobody got separation. Second half, he heated up because it started to click, right? Cooper was getting open. Coleman was able to make some grabs in coverage, which is what he does best, and we were using the guys to their strengths, which has been a frustrating part of what I've seen, through this offense. When they're not working well, it's like, dude, why are you trying to make this guy do something he's not capable of doing? That's not his strength, right? Coleman is the body guy. Like in coverage, you can throw it to Coleman, and Allen has shown that he's not afraid to be like, well, everybody's covered, I'm throwing to Coleman. That's the smart thing to do. He's the guy who can catch in coverage. But it's just when you're trying to throw, especially in the first half, they're throwing it like 20 yards down the field, and I'm like, when has this worked for you? It's like they forgot about the last 6 games. Like, literally, when you've had success, you've thrown short passes and let your guys make plays. Now you're throwing it 20 yards down the field, and that has never worked for you this year. Literally,
Mhm.
never worked for you this year when you're throwing multiple passes deep. And yet they continued to do that in the first half. Luckily, realized, hey, wait a minute, that still doesn't work. Shocker. And let's go back to, the short yardage where we let our guys make the plays, which opens up for opportunities and timing for
Amari
throwing it
Cooper.
down the field. Just like that first drive, what was the most frustrating thing for me was you run the ball, you get 4 yards, you run the ball, you get 4 yards, 3rd and 1, and what do? You throw the ball 15 yards. What the fuck are you doing? Like, no, get the yard, get the first down. You don't need to
Yeah.
throw it 15 yards on 3rd and 1.
Put Ray in there. Freaking this time it's Ray time
Exactly. So, I mean,
or
it was
tie time. Like
frustrating, but that was the whole tale of the first. Little did we know that that would be the tone for the first half. And just like that series where I think it was Josh Allen, got sacked and then he missed a guy and then we punted into the end zone. We couldn't even freaking down it. So I was like, yeah, that's the story of the whole microcosm of the whole first half right there.
mm-hmm. Yeah, I tend to agree with just about everything you said there. They weren't using guys to their strength. They had Keon Coleman going downfield. Like he's
I
not a deep
know.
threat.
You're right. Like,
Like
stop
he got
it.
caught on every single pass that he had to run for 30 yards or more on. Like he's just like if he has to run for 20 yards or more to get to the end zone, he's getting caught. Like he's a route runner. Get him on a slant. He's more like Michael Thomas than he is freaking Stephon Diggs. He's not that type of guy.
Mm-hmm.
And so you really gotta just use him in the way that's gonna be best for him. Khalil Shakir, another guy. He's not really a straight line deep threat. You can get him like on a button hook, or you can get him on a crosser. You might even get him on a post corner. But he's gonna have to move side to side to get open.
Mm-hmm.
He's not that kind of guy.
Use them to their strengths. Don't try to get cute and make guys do things that aren't the best capable of, right? Like you can't invent things that guys aren't capable of doing. Like you said, Coleman's not a burner. He's not going to go down the field and suddenly get 10 yards of separation. I don't think we're ever going to see that in his career. Now, we did see where the guy, blown coverage and Coleman was wide open and made a big chunk play, right? So that type of thing, yes, obviously, but when there's a guy covering him, again, his strength is let's catch the ball in contested situations and get open and those tough 3rd downs. Even preseason, after we drafted him, I said what I see his role is, 3rd and 6. He's a guy you can get the ball to because they're dropping back in coverage. The team knows you're throwing, but he can give you that catch that you need and those short yardage plays rather than going down the field for 20 yards or whatever. And he's
And
showing that
breaking
pretty much.
tackles. Yeah,
Yeah,
breaking tackles. Yeah.
yeah,
And I like that
being
about him
physical.
and Shakir. Like those two guys can break. And Shakir's not that big. He's only what 190, 5'11", 190, and he's just a tackle breaker. But Keon Coleman's big and a tackle breaker. So like you're making business decisions trying to tackle Keon.
Yeah, yeah.
And then you bring in Amari Cooper, who's more finesse, but still pretty meat and potatoes kind of running a wide receiver. And he just knows how to run his routes. And my wife saw today. She was watching the game with us, and she said he doesn't look happy. And I was like, like Amari Cooper is not the emotional guy. Like he is not Stephon Diggs. He's not going to go out there and be rah rah. And he's not going to be the guy who goes out there cursing people out. He's going to be the guy who's a stoic leader. He plays chess in the locker room. Like he's not the guy who's going to do those things. He's the guy who's going to keep it together and then give what he's got. But you're not going to get all that extra stuff from him. That's why he's the perfect guy to follow Stephon Diggs on his team. Josh needs a guy who can run the routes, catch the ball, score a touchdown, and go sit the hell down.
Exactly, right. And it was, refreshing to see that today. Refreshing to see that him come in. I know people were saying that, like, oh, Cooper doesn't look like he's happy or whatever. And I'm like, dude, you don't even know the guy yet. Maybe that's his personality. Some people just aren't super extroverts who like to get in front of a mic and talk about everything they do. And, just like my wife prefers to stay home and read a book when I prefer to go out and see people and, hang out. It's just personality. It doesn't mean he can't get it done on the field. It doesn't mean he isn't smart enough to know the playbook. We saw it happen today, right? So yeah, I mean, I think it's refreshing to say the least, and it brings a different personality to this team as well. Because this team is always kind of somewhere, a lot of guys have personality, and there's a lot of different personalities, but it seems like the collective is more this, we're out there for the media and everything, and we're open about who we are and everything. And Cooper's just kind of like, I'm going to give you the one word answer, and that's it, right? That's how I am. So good for him. I think it's refreshing.
All right. So before we end the show today, shout out to Kita Nakagawa from Japan. I've seen him on Facebook. I know I've seen some videos of him. Awesome to have you on our stream, buddy, from Japan. And go Bills. Heck yeah, it was a great game. It's awesome seeing our. I don't know how you say go Bills in Japanese, but I'm sure he does. But my buddy over here. But yeah, it was awesome. Thank you, Mr. Nakagawa, for being on our stream. That's awesome. I have international fans watching Built in Buffalo. But guys, I think that's our show today. You guys take care of yourselves. Go Bills. Don't want to drag this on because it doesn't need to be 34-10. Buffalo, the W counts in the column no matter if you win 10-14 like it would have been early, or pouring it on and winning 34-10. Doesn't matter. A W is a W. However, it's nice to see the Bills put up points on offense and put up yards, and to see Josh Allen again. No interceptions. No interceptions. So here we go, guys. Where can you get this T-shirt? You can get this T-shirt at the Built-in Buffalo store. Let me see if I can't find that real quick. I know, Anthony, you got to go if you want. I'm gonna see if I can't find the link for that.
Thank you for having me again, Izzy. Always good to talk football with you. Like you said, you and I get together, and we're always on the same page. We're always clicking pretty well. It's been fun being on shows with you. So thank you for having me.
Absolutely.
Go Bills, baby. Another win.
I usually do this by myself, so thanks for being here.
No, yeah. You said, hey, anybody want to join? I'm like, yeah, I'll go. Why not? Let's do it. All right, man. I'll talk to you later. See you.
Yes, sir. Have a good night.
Go Bills.
Go Bills. I'll put the store link in the description here. I just looked it up. The official online store of Built in Buffalo. We got a bunch of different shirts too. We got the Abbott Road shirt. You know what? I'm gonna go ahead and, before we go, do some advertisement for Built in Buffalo. Boop. There's the link to the Built in Buffalo store, and present. Oops. Share screen. So the official Built in Buffalo store. Got to get that off the screen in order to see it. This is the website. And we've got all kinds of different shirts on here, right? We got Buffalo Joe. We got the Air Allen shirt. Josh Allen leaping over the Built in Buffalo logo there. The Abbott Road shirt. We've got the Allen Potato logo, the one where they had him draw the logo. And so there's a bunch of different stuff. You go shop now. Those are the ones that they're highlighting currently. There's all kinds of shirts. Mafia, Built in Buffalo with the horns. Here's this shirt that I have on right now. You can go in there and change the color. We got heather gray, which is what I'm wearing, black and white style t-shirt, long sleeve t-shirt, crew neck sweater, hoodie. So we have different options. If you guys want, go ahead and check out the Built in Buffalo store. They use high quality materials. I love this shirt. It's comfortable. I try and save it for when I'm doing my shows on occasion. I'll wear this shirt because I don't want to, outwear it, because I will wear a shirt a lot and then wear it the hell out quick. But it's pretty good material. I've worn it a few times, and it's, most of my shirts I end up stretching around the neck because I got a thick ass neck. I got like a 19-inch neck. And so, yeah, check out the Built in Buffalo store. It is awesome. I think the most expensive item on there is the hoodie. So if you say you want the hoodie, black, you go heather gray, hoodie. You add it to the cart. Oh, I got to finish the options. You want a large, extra large, 3X. Bam, $40 for the hoodie. The The crew neck sweater, $35. T-shirt, $25. Long sleeve T-shirt, $28. It's all about the amount of material and the quality of material, or the thickness of the material. So check us out. Check us out. You do realize that game was last week. What game was last week? Last week was the Jets. The Jets play again tonight. But, guys, that is my show. It has been a pleasure, as usual, to be here with you guys, whether we lost and you're comforting me, or if we won and I get to celebrate with you guys. God bless you all. Check out that Built in Buffalo fan store. Go Bills. Have a great evening.